Today, we have the new Meeting Owl 4 Plus. Now, I already have a very popular video on YouTube about the original Meeting Owl. So popular, in fact, that I reached out to Owl Labs and asked if they'd send me one to review, and they promptly never got back to me at all. But thankfully, I have a friend who ordered one for his office here and agreed that I could take a look at it. So a shout out to Credentialed Wealth Advisors for letting me come and shoot this video here in their office with their Meeting Owl 4 Plus. If you are in need of personal financial planning for yourself or your business, retirement savings, whatever it may be, do check out Credentialed Wealth Advisors, and there will be a link in the description to them. All right. So the Meeting Owl 4 Plus is a big deal because it marks the first huge upgrade to the Meeting Owl line. Now, you can buy the Meeting Owl 3 still, which is very similar to the Pro that I already reviewed. And that is a very capable product and one that I use in my work pretty much every week, if not sometimes every day. Been very, very satisfied that in the kind of smaller room that it is a part of. The Pro marks a increase in the capacity, most notably by going to 4K resolution on its 360-degree camera, some improved microphones and speakers in the internals, so they say, and the ability to work with larger rooms. If I've heard a complaint about the Meeting Owl, it's mostly from people who are trying to use it in larger spaces. And the original Meeting Owl, the Meeting Owl 3, they're really good for smaller conference rooms, kind of like this one, but in larger spaces where maybe you've got more than, a dozen people sitting around a table, you've got maybe more 20 people sitting around the table, or you're in a larger space, then it does struggle, especially on the audio side of things, to keep up. So I'm excited to see what the new Meeting Owl 4 can do, and I brought along my original Meeting Owl, so we can do some comparison testing and see if all those improvements really are improvements. Because, oh, by the way, the new Meeting Owl 4 Plus costs a handy $2,000 retail versus the $1,000 that the original costs. So, is that $1,000 worth it? I guess we'll find out. All right, so pardon the interruption. I just want to give you a little clue as to how channels like this work, especially those of us who work in more niche content. The YouTube ad revenue is literally pennies and not how I primarily support this channel. I do it through Amazon affiliate links. Now, here's the thing. When you click on one of the Amazon affiliate links below in the description, even if you don't buy the exact product that I am linking to, if you buy something in that experience and you start by clicking on one of my links, then I get a little cut of it. It doesn't cost you anything. That's Amazon paying it out of Amazon share. The only other way to make this work is to do things like sponsored or advertised content, which I don't want to do because I want to offer objective information and advice to you. So please check the links below if you're interested in anything you've seen here today. And even if you come back later, use those links, buy your products, enjoy what you buy, help me out. Thank you. All right, so the Meeting Owl comes in some fairly impressive packaging, as you would expect today. I don't know who all these package engineers are, but they definitely are earning their money. Comes in this nice box, and inside you find the owl itself. Now, one of the things that they advertise for this product is a new sleek design, and I'm going to say it's actually a little bit bigger than the original Meeting Owl, so I'm not sure what sleek means, but it's largely the same. So if the original one fit into your workspace, then this one's probably going to fit in fine. It's actually a little wider at the top, I can tell. The controls are in this vertical stack right here, which I actually kind of like a little bit better than where they are on this one circulating around the base. But other than that, they're pretty darn similar in size and shape. Okay, so the big news, besides the increase in quality on the Meeting Owl 4 Plus, is that this is now fully a USB-C device. One of the things that I don't like about the original Meeting Owl, and I think this carries forward to the 3 as well, is that they are still using a micro S or micro USB connector instead of USB-C, and then a standard barrel plug style AC adapter. This is a fully USB-C device. So if we look at the bottom, we can see right down there, there are two inputs, one for power, one for your laptop or computer you're connecting it to. These are both USB-C connections, and this one, it does come with a power brick, similar to what you would get on, say, like a MacBook laptop. You know, MacBooks use USB-C for power as well, and they come with a power brick that supplies the needed wattage. You know, built into these things is basically a computer that's handling all the difficult processing, so it's not a surprise that you have to power it like you would power a computer. So we get two basic inputs on the bottom. You get the power input for the power, and then the USB-C going to the device that is going to receive the video and audio signal from this. The other thing that they have added on these devices, if I can find it, boop, is right here, and that is a accessory port. Yes, an accessory port, which I don't immediately actually recognize what standard that is as far as the adapter go. It might be a proprietary one. I will look that up and find out. But they do allow and will sell you some microphones that you can connect to the Meeting Owl. So you can have its built-in microphones, and then you can have a separate kind of microphone thing, you know, say 5, 6, 7, 8 feet away. Again, if you're servicing that large room, partially to overcome that issue of audio quality in large spaces. Otherwise, the other thing I've noticed they did is they actually centered the adapter for the tripod mount. So this is a standard tripod mount here. In this case, they actually centered it into the middle of the unit instead of on the My Owl where it's kind of off-centered. Because these are kind of heavy units and they're kind of top heavy because of their shape, that can actually be a bit of a problem. And I've had these try to fall over on me before when I was using that to anchor them to, say, like a tripod or something like that. So the fact that they've gone ahead and centered it in this, I do like. So form factor wise, I would say definitely some improvements in terms of button placements. Love that it's gone to USB-C. That's so much easier to connect than the old connectors were. And size wise, it seems to be, you know, pretty much about the same. Oh, look at that. So you got buttons on both sides of the unit. That's pretty trick. All right, well, now I think the main event is going to be firing this thing up and seeing what the quality looks like and sounds like. Okay, so I'm going to start with probably what is the most interesting text, which is the direct side-by-side comparison between the Meeting Owl original and now the Meeting Owl 4S. And to do that, I've set them up together. I've set them up connected to the exact same laptop. I've got OBS running right here, capturing this side-by-side comparative image of the two of them. And as we can see right now, it's interesting. I mean, I can definitely see a difference in the color saturation, and definitely like the color tone of the 4S here versus the more washed out on the original. I definitely am picking up a slightly better quality when we are doing a full capture quality test on the 4S. I'll be curious to see what that ends up looking like. But in this side-by-side comparison, the 3 is definitely a little fuzzier, and the 4 definitely has some enhanced quality to it. Now, how much difference that's going to make in an environment where you're using Zoom and there's all this buffering happening afterwards, I don't know. But as we've talked a lot about cameras on this channel, we've talked about the importance of getting as high a quality as you can right from the get-go with the camera itself, because everything downstream of that is just going to steal quality from you. So the fact that this has such good quality to begin with is a nice thing. So, of course, the party trick of this one is that it follows you around and can see where you're going and switch to the person speaking. So let's do a little testing on that right now. I'm going to be right here, and then I'm going to be quiet. And then I'm going to move over here, and we'll see how long it takes them to adjust to the new person speaking over in this part of the world. And then I'm going to be quiet again. And now I'm going to talk over here and see how long it takes them to adjust to me speaking over here. And I'm going to say not too bad. So I will say right now I can say that just looking at it here on my screen, the 4S definitely does have that enhanced picture quality that they are advertising with this product. I totally believe that is, you know, an originating 4K image. Of course, the 4K is encompassing of the whole 360-degree view that you see along the top of the screen. So you are always just getting a chunk of it, but the fact that you are getting a chunk of something that is so much bigger to start with, that is definitely an improvement. All right, so now we're going to look at just the 4S, let it do a full capture, full resolution capture of it, and see what its quality looks like. All right, so now I've changed up my methodology a little bit here. I've got just the Owl 4 plugged in. I'm doing a direct capture on my laptop to catch its full quality. And I'm also now capturing the sound from it as well. I did a test of both the Meeting Owl Original and the Meeting Owl 4 on the sound quality side, and there really wasn't much of a difference, so I'm not going to include that in the video. It worked all about the same. So what you're hearing out of the sound as far as in this environment goes, it's about the same. I have no doubt that the microphones are more sensitive on this one, so you would probably expect to see a higher quality audio, especially in larger rooms, out of the 4. I hope that's something you're getting for the extra $1,000 you're paying. But the accessory port and the idea of adding an extra microphone to it to allow it to, you know, have even better high quality sound is definitely a good feature. So on the whole, I would say that, again, the image quality is really good, not just compared to the 3, but just in general, the quality is pretty darn decent. I would say it compares favorably to the Bose video bar that I reviewed recently and other similar webcam things like that. It doesn't look like in the cropped down version that you're going to get when it's zooming in on the individual speaker. It does not look like 4K to me, I will be honest. And again, it's because the 4K is encompassing of the whole wide shot, and you're still kind of cropping it down a little bit. And that's fine. It's a little unfortunate, but you know, I get there's only so much they can cram into a small image sensor on the top. But the quality is definitely improved. I would say more though than the resolution, the improvement is the quality of the capturing of its color and its brightness and its saturation is definitely far above the original Meeting Owl. I would not have thought about that as a shortcoming of the original one, and I still don't think it is, but this one definitely is clearly improved in that regard as well. I'm in a fairly well-lit room. This isn't as well-lit as like my studio space is, but it's decently well-lit space, and I'm showing up bright and shiny in the way that I would hope and expect to. So definitely some improvements there. Whether they are significant enough for the price difference is really going to be up to you and the budget that you have for this whole endeavor. Okay, the Meeting Owl 4S, what do we think? Well, it really depends on your situation. If you already have a Meeting Owl 3 or a Meeting Owl Pro or one of the previous models that you are happy with and it's working well, it's not worth the upgrade, not at that price point. The little bit of improved video quality, and I'm not entirely certain that anybody on the receiving end of your Zoom calls or Microsoft Teams meetings or whatever is gonna notice. I can't see spending that money unless you just happen to have $2,000 burning your hole in your pocket that you gotta spend on something. However, if you are a Meeting Owl Pro or 3 or previous generation customer and you've been unhappy with the quality of it, especially in a larger space, it may be worth taking a look at the new 4S and perhaps taking advantage of Amazon's generous return policies, trying it, see if it improves your situation. If it does, great, and if not, return it. The ability to add those external speakers and microphones is definitely a huge improvement and could definitely help in larger spaces, especially if it's a larger rectangular space where you want to get some better audio quality at the edges. But even the new Meeting Owl 3, that is the $1,000 version of this guy, has those external ports that you can plug those external microphones into as well. So you don't need the 4S just for that feature. However, if you don't have any Meeting Owl products and you are looking to get into this space, and it is an investment you want to make, you plan to use a lot and plan to have for a long time, if you have the money, it is probably not a bad idea to at least consider the 4S. It is twice the cost of the Meeting Owl 3. You may be equally as satisfied with the Meeting Owl 3, but if you want to make a one-time purchase that you hope to have for a long time, having a 4K capable camera and as good of image quality as you can get right from the get-go is really honestly always the best thing to try to have if you can possibly have it. So on the whole, I would say I am glad to have a chance to take a look at this guy. I will not be upgrading my own personal Meeting Owl to this one. There's just not enough benefit there. But I do hope that they can bring the price point down a little bit, because at $1,500, I think it's a no-brainer that you go with this one over the $1,000. At twice the cost, I would give a serious look at the Meeting Owl 3 and see if that wouldn't just meet your needs equally as well as this guy. All right, there are Amazon links down below that you can use. That is 100% the way that this channel gets supported, so please take a look at that. Again, a big shout out and thank you to Credentialed Wealth Advisors for letting me come and play with their amazing Meeting Owl and record in their wonderful new office space here. And until I see you again, have a great